All right, here's the truck. Thought it'd be easier to take a video than a bunch of pictures. So anyway, currently no wheel wells. The tops were rusted, so I pulled them out and found there's more rust, so I just did away with them. The only downside is I never put any like support rods off it, so the fenders, they're a little bit misaligned, but not terribly. The door line's fine here, but like right here you can see where the paint is chipped a little bit. That's the biggest downside to this truck, is the paint was really cheap, so it has chipped quite a bit in different places. But other than that, and the hood doesn't line up well because of that, so it would need new fenders or support rods. I find this thing runs wicked cool without the fenders in there, so I just left them out. Start over here. It's got a Willwood master cylinder for the clutch. I didn't end up buying a clutch kit. I just kind of made my own, but I've never had any problem with this thing. I mean, they're pretty simple on the C10s, so it's just a Willwood master cylinder. This is a piece of aluminum to trace over the plate there. Hard line runs along the back, kind of bends up kind of awkwardly there, but runs down to a rubber hose that goes over to the transmission. You can't see it very well. The exhaust is horrific. I will be fixing that for right now. It's got the Dixie horn on it. That was just because I do parades with this thing. It's got a heater box delete over here, just a custom panel that's just basically been tech screwed in place. Nothing super fancy there. There's studs sticking out right here because I did put an aftermarket heater box in. I'll show you that in a minute. New battery, just a cheap Tractor Supply battery, but the entire wiring harness has been completely gone over in this truck. It's got a painless 14 circuit or 16 circuit, I can't remember which one it is. Either way, brand new painless wiring. It's missing the horn right now. I had to steal one of the horns from my Honda Civic that I've got. You can see a piece of red foam down there. I upgraded the radiator to a 3-core or 2-core radiator. 2-core, yeah, it's a 2-core radiator. Upgraded to this all aluminum unit, and so because of that, it didn't fit, so I cut that and then re-welded some patching in there, and it's got these custom spacer bolts right here that, I mean, it doesn't move, so I've never had any problem with this radiator. This thing runs cold at like 160 degrees. This is just the stock 350. I'm probably gonna end up rebuilding this motor. Don't mind the timing line, everything. I've been trying to figure out a misfire on it. Needs intake gaskets. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to do this on the spot and not even thinking. It's got all mechanical gauges. You can see the copper line there from the back. These are grounds right here. That actually, this one's for the, I can't see that very well. There we go. That's for the temp sensor right there. That's running down. It's just zip tied underneath the frame. Comes back up right here. I'd like to put electronic unit in it, but I haven't got around to it. I haven't had the money to do it. Manual drum brakes, all 4 corners. That is a new master cylinder that's been upgraded, but it does have the drums. This is a new power steering box, brand new from Dorman, so that's brand new. It's got the original rag joint, which I never got around to replacing, but it does have a new steering column in it. This is like a manual transmission style steering column with a piece of 3/4 double D, brand new. That's a brand new steering U-joint from, oh, I can't remember what the name of the company is. Some big company, Borgeson. That's it, Borgeson. I haven't touched the suspension, but these are brand new ball joints, upper and lower. I have checked them, so they're all tie rods and everything are tight. The idler arm I ended up replacing with a new Moog unit, so that is a new idler arm. I haven't touched the alignment on this thing, but I haven't really put enough miles on it to deal with it. But yeah, it's got these gigantic, I think these are 315s, if I remember correctly. I can't see them. Oh, here we go. No, they're 295s. 295 50R15 Cooper Cobras on stock style rally wheels. They've been just updated, painted black. The center cap's been painted black. New splined lug nuts. It does have wheel spacers because these tires are so offset to kind of make them flush with the edge of the fenders. It still has the original shocks or upgraded like Monroe Maddox on it. Parking brake doesn't currently work. I've never used the parking brake. The cable's pretty slack. It probably needs new e-brake cables. What was that for? Oh, this was where the old box used to come through. So the old style C10s would have a great big plastic box, had a screw that went into it. When I ended up putting in the paintless unit, I just made this box for it. And yeah, I never painted it. It's just raw sheet metal. It need to be taken back off and cleaned. But you can see the brand new harness runs along here. It does run, get rid of that freaking, down inside the fender there. It's zip tied inside the fender and it runs out. It runs along here. It's pretty neat and organized. I try to make it as diagnosable as possible, so you'll see on some of these they have like red heat shrink and black to differentiate. But this is for, I can't remember what this wire is for. I think this fuse is for that horn over there. So that's the engine bay. Nothing really special. I do want to rebuild this engine so it's better. New whip, nothing fancy there. This is bolted back down, but you can see the paint's kind of chipping right there. The only rod I've ever seen on this, where is it? Yeah, there's a little bit of rot right there, as you can see. Nothing too special. I mean, it's the rain gutter for the back of the engine, so it probably is going to have some issues. I think that was it for rot there. I've checked up around the gutter and whatnot. It looks fine right now. The sealer looks like it's starting to crack. There's a little bit of rust right there, but I've never taken this windshield off, and that's the issue I'm having. Is I've been afraid if I pull this windshield off, there's going to be repairs needing to be done behind this, so I haven't touched that. Wipers do work. I've had to use it. Just a basic set of mirrors from, I can't remember where they're from, probably O'Reilly's, but they get the job done. Do have the keys for the locks. Excuse the mess. This was in a Christmas parade, but I haven't got around to cleaning the interior back out. Original bench seat to the truck. It's in brand new conditions. No rips, no tears. Brand new carpet that now needs to be washed because it's covered with dirt from people's boots and everything. The interior. I've got the dash pad. I took it off when I was putting these because we were doing the Christmas parade. It was cold. I don't have heat in the truck, so I put these in. They're temporary. They're just Gorilla taped in place, but you can see the mess of heater hoses shoved up in here. That's a Jegs heater box that I made. Made the brackets are bolted in place. You can see part of the harness here. This is a mixture of radio wire that is zip tied in place. As ugly as it looks without the loom on it, it's actually quite organized. Yeah, relay for the heater box. There's a fuse in there for the heater box as well. I didn't bother to try to wire it into a circuit, so I just did that. You can kind of see, if I pull this out, there's kind of a mess of wire right there, but it's more organized than it looks from right here, because that's for the, yeah, that right there is for the heater switch control. It's not wired into the ignition, so it's basically on or off, whether it's not a key, it's a switch. The other wiring, as you can see, cigarette lighter, radio, the radio wiring it's there, it's just not zip tied up very well. And then can't really show it here, but it's been completely converted, new gauges, because this didn't have the oil pressure gauge in '69. So it's got oil, temperature, and voltage. This is a custom plate. This is where the old the heat, the controls for the HVAC would have been. Of course, it's got Dixie horn, regular horn, choke button. This was for a set of lights I was going to put behind the grill, but I needed the switch, so I took it out. This is the fuel pump switch and the regular toggle switch for on and off. This is just in case you want to turn it off and turn the ignition on. So just like that. And the big red start push button. Just got a tack from Advanced Auto. Pioneer setup. That was in the truck when I bought it. Has the original ashtray. Whatever. Yeah. Got this custom shifter that I made out of 1.25" box end. Nice solid boot that's tucked into the carpet. Looks nice. The carpet still is a little loose, but it's got padding on it. That's why it moves like that. Like I said, it needs to be vacuumed and cleaned. Custom made clutch pedal, as you can see. Works really well. I've never had any problem with it. Original brake pedal, original gas pedal. I'll go around to the other side now. Walk down here. All the steps are in good condition. There's no rot on this body, on this rear box. Don't mind the stuff back here. It's been raining, and that's my ice fishing gear. It does have paint chipping, like I said, in certain places. This was from a homemade doghouse that I made for the Christmas parade. There's dents back here in this portion of the box, and it's got scratches right here that need to be fixed. The paint was laid on really thick. That's why it's done. This is one of the worst spots on the truck that does need to be tapped out. Metal rod fell down and hit my fender right there, and it scraped it a little bit right there. So this needs to be tapped out, bonded, and repainted, but that is fine. All the lights work. I've gone through everything on the truck. It's the paint job is really horrid. It needs to be redone. All the lights work, side markers work, everything. Doesn't have a rear bumper on it right now, but I do have the bumper if you want it. It's got a 15-gallon fuel cell in the back with a Holley Mighty fuel pump, just a little unit. This side's fine. Again, chip paint. I have the patch panel for this. I just didn't have time to install it because I took the fuel tank out behind the seat. This is just a piece of sheet metal shoved into the original grommet, but I have the metal plate that's designed to go there. I just haven't got around to installing it. Like I said, Pioneer speakers. I have one seat belt on this side, but the other side it broke. It didn't break, but the actual bracket that's in here that holds this in place came apart, so I need to order a new seat belt for the other side, but it is there. Parking brake doesn't work. Lights do work. Everything's had the dash lights up, as you can see. You can't tell very well here, but dimmer works. It's a brand new light switch. Dimmer switch on the floor works. Brand new dimmer switch. Wiper switch works as well. It's a brand new wiper switch. Every piece of wire in this truck I've gone through. Even the dome light works. So every piece of wire, and I am a mechanic. I'm a certified Chrysler technician. So every piece of wire in this truck is proper. So the only thing it's missing is the door jam switches, which I figure is fine. If you're getting into this thing at nighttime, all you gotta do is flick this, or all you gotta do is click this thing over and you've got the light on. So yeah, that's the interior. The interior is the best part of the truck, really. No headliner, but it has been professionally painted, and it's really nice gloss black. The window needs to be replaced. As you can see, it's got one big chip right there, and it's fogging. Other than that, it's pretty much fine. Yeah. And then the big issue that's with the truck that I said is the rockers. Oh, that striker needs to be adjusted. Is the rust on this. You can see there's rot in the, if you can pull it back, rot in the cab corners and in the rockers. And at the bottom of this fender, it's all Bondo. It just needs to be, they make patch panels to replace this bottom half here. The fronts of those look fine, so I haven't touched those. And then the cab supports need to be replaced, as you can see. But the frame is in brand new condition. Literally, it's practically brand new. It's got brand new body mounts on it. The frame, I've gone over the frame completely and checked it. It's pretty much brand new. The only place that needs touching up is right here where the old bell crank was. That I'm going to patch that. I'm going to go in there and clean it up and weld in some metal. So yeah, that's the truck. Do with it as you like.